What's good, people? Thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. So I did a video 2-3 days ago saying that Dazn were trying to sign Deontay Wilder, and I also said in the video that Showtime will be shitting themselves because they're on wobbly legs. A few people disagreed, and we're going to talk about that further on in the video. Well, Showtime will be 110% shitting themselves now because that meeting has happened. Deontay Wilder with his team, which included Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, and I think Lou DiBella, sat down with Dazn bigwigs to try and thrash out a deal so that Deontay Wilder can move over and switch from Showtime to Dazn. Now, the reason why, and we're going to talk about other stuff in the video, but the reason why I said Showtime will be shitting themselves is obviously, firstly, they're going to lose Deontay Wilder, right? They're going to lose Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, a big draw for them. He will be going to their rival, which is Dazn. But the number one reason, the biggest reason they'll be shitting themselves is because of Al Heyman. The last thing they want is for Al Heyman to be sitting in a room with the Dazn bigwigs talking numbers. That's the last thing they want. Al Heyman probably supplies, and I say supplies in terms of managers, I'd say at a guess 85% of the Showtime roster. I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but in terms of the big names anyway, Al Heyman has them all. Like literally, he has them all. I mean, these guys say things like, we thank Al Heyman before they thank God in their speeches at the end of fights. Al Heyman to them is God. If Al Heyman says to walk, all these fighters walk. Fact. If these fighters are not signed down to sort of contracts with Showtime, if they're signed to like fight by fight deals like Deontay Wilder is, then if I'm Showtime, I am shitting myself. Because let's be honest, the big names that Eddie Hearn has been trying to get on this Dazn platform, the ones that he always talks about are who? Broner, hear it all the time. Gervonta Davis, Errol Spence, the Charlo brothers, those are the names we hear all the time. Those guys are managed by who? Al Heyman, all of them, plus more. We can go on. Literally, Al Heyman has fucking everyone on that roster. So if Al Heyman sits down with Dazn, and he's not just going to go in there and talk about Deontay Wilder, he's going to go in there and talk about all these fighters. If he goes in there and sits with Dazn and they start talking numbers, realistic numbers, not the kind of numbers that Eddie Hearn has been kind of spouting out, but realistic numbers. If I'm Showtime, I mean, you can't compete with these figures. There's no way Showtime, unless Fox get involved, Showtime can't compete with these figures. Just impossible. And talking about figures, we're hearing that Deontay Wilder, if he does sign to Dazn, will get $20 million for his first fight. And that's obviously his defense against Dominic Breazeale. $20 million. Again, let's compare it to what he got this time last year. This time last year, he fought Luis Ortiz. And we heard, again, I do think Al Heyman gave him a bit more on top, but we heard it was $2.1 million. Let's just be kind and round it off to 3. And fuck it, let's round it off to 5. Let's say 5 million max, right? It wasn't that, but let's just say that anyway. Dazn are just offering you 20 million for Dominic Breazeale. 5 million, I'm going to say, max for Luis Ortiz, which is a much tougher fight. Dazn and Sam will give you $20 million for Dominic Breazeale. How do you compete with this? You can't compete with it. Top Rank did. Top Rank tried and offered him 12.5 million for a fight, and then obviously a rematch with Tyson Fury. Then I think they were trying to chuck in a 2 more fight deal, which he didn't want to do. Didn't want to sign with Top Rank like that. But the Dazn said, we'll give you 20 million, and then the cherry on top, you get AJ after. He's gonna sign. How can you not sign? I mean, how can you not sign? And for him to have a sit down again with Al Heyman and Shelley Finkel, this has gone beyond, we're just having conversations. This is now just really looking at figures and trying to hash something out. So Deontay Wilder in a year is increased his worth in terms of what he gets per fight by nearly $18 million. That's what Dazn are doing. Dazn are saying, we're going to fucking increase it by 18 million. I don't know what he got for Tyson Fury, but I'm talking about just the yearly calendar. It's scary. It's frightening. And again, the cherry on top is AJ. So he'll get $20 million for this fight against Dominic Breazeale. If he's getting offered $20 million for Dominic Breazeale, what's he getting offered for AJ? 35? Don't know. I mean, what are we talking here? 20 million for Breazeale isn't going to increase the sign-ups on the Dazn platform by that much. It will for AJ. So we're talking 35 million? It's crazy, but yeah, so Showtime will be scared. They are going to lose him, but it's not about losing Deontay Wilder right now. It's about losing the other fighters. Again, because if Al Heyman, I think, tells these fighters to walk, they'll walk. I think Al Heyman's got this kind of power over them, which is almost this kind of mystical power. But I do think they will all go. I do genuinely believe they will all go. And if I am Charlo, I'm definitely going. Charlo wants one of those big fights against the other middleweights. He will go. His brother will then follow. And it'll be good to see what happens after the Errol Spence-Mikey Garcia fallout. Mikey Garcia said he's not signed to anyone. Mikey Garcia will probably go to the zone after. So I think the floodgates, if Deontay Wilder signs, and I do think he will sign, I think the floodgates are going to open. And I think we should expect a lot of these Al Heyman managed fighters to sign. I think a lot of these Al Heyman managed fighters to sign. And again, I don't know how many fighters he has on the Showtime network, but I'm guessing he manages a lot of them. I remember there was a time when I looked at the number of fighters Al Heyman manages, and I think about nearly all of them fight on Showtime. So again, if he gets all, imagine he literally rounds up all his network of fighters and says, you know what, we're going to the DAZN platform. I mean, that's it for Showtime. That is it for Showtime. And don't be shocked if Showtime do a HBO. Don't be shocked. I know people are like, what? Impossible. I thought it was impossible that HBO were going to do that. Don't be shocked, because this might be a case of going forward, DAZN versus ESPN Plus in America, and everyone else takes a back seat. Everyone else. What do you guys think? Deontay Wilder to DAZN. It's going to happen. 20 million for Dominic Breazeale, and I'm just guessing the number for Anthony Joshua, but I'm guessing it's going to be something like 35 million. What do you think of my my idea that Al Heyman might take all his fighters, if they're not signed to contracts with Showtime, over to DAZN? Am I just speaking out loud and it's a load of bollocks, or can you see it happening? I can see it happening. I really can. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.